Cronin Show.
Dude, I will eat your fucking asshole out and then spit it into your mouth, baby bird style. Who wants to go? Call the show. I'll fuck your ass! I wanna kill myself! If I think it sucks, I tell you!
The Joe Cronin Show.
Hey, can you hear me?
Experimenting with the new Skype and seeing if the new Skype is working. Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, baby? Can you hear me? I guess not. What's up, everybody? Trying to get Skype to work, motherfucker.
Glad to see that the picture of Tommy I sent you got a lot of likes.
Nice.
Hope he has seen it too, lol.
Jagged Panzer, what up, Panzer? How you doing, man? Yeah, you know, you sent me a nice little one with the Brazers thing on there. And it looked great. It looked goddamn great. What's up, Jakey?
What's going on? Yeah, I wasn't sure. I saw you start a Skype meeting, so I wasn't sure what was going on with that.
I figured we'd try that and see what that works.
Yeah. I didn't know if I joined the wrong thing or not, but...
No, you get in there. It was good. It was good.
All right. I didn't know if you can hear me. I couldn't hear you, so...
I guess you couldn't hear me, though. Yeah, I could hear you. I don't know what that was about, so...
Well, we can try it, but...
All right, let me fix something real quick, I guess. Here, ladies and gentlemen, it's Jay DeMarco. It's the Raw Review. It's your mother. I'll be right back. I'm just going to fix my mic.
Yeah, what a night. Even on tape delay, I'm telling you. They're delayed because they're taping the pre-Christmas episode as well. That's almost finished at this point.
What else we got?
And I've seen most of the spoilers for that. Unfortunately, it does not sound like it's going to be a good Christmas from Raw.
A little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
If you didn't enjoy tonight,
I've never really seen the point of these gauntlets unless it's used to get guys like Seth or Kofi over, but then it can make other guys look weak in the process. Are you ready for the juicy six-man?
Was just not sensical. The only decent thing was Seth Rollins, and as I was worried, he was cheered. I know they're in his home state, and that'll be a part of it, but. Can't tell if donations are still coming through or not. You can replay it, Robbie. Yeah, we got to figure this shit out so we can hear it. Even having the stream up, it's delayed, so.
They're off. I got the donations are off.
All right, there we go. I didn't want to talk over anybody. Robbie, hi, thank you. Well, we can replay that after the fact. So we went ahead and we kicked off tonight the big recap of everything Seth did last night, or last week, excuse me, his heel turn. And then Seth came out with AOP, and he was cheered by the crowd. Obviously, he went ahead and gave a pretty solid promo going forward. I kind of like the direction that he's in this time. He's narcissistic, but he feels that everything he's doing is justified. So we'll see how it plays out in the long term. But he said Kevin resisted and Owens became an example. And anybody questions my leadership if I had done something wrong. For months I've done everything you asked, and all of a sudden the mood changed. But I didn't change. You people did. So it was a strong promo overall. And I think it's a good start for his heel turn. He also said that I'm going to have to do something later on tonight that you're not going to like, and ahead of time, I'm sorry, but he had a score to settle. So it left a little bit of intrigue as to what that was going to be, since we still assumed that, Owens is going to be out selling the injuries he suffered last week. Then we kick off into the Raw Tag Team Champions, and I thought this was for the titles. They had a 20-minute match here, and I see, Gallows and Anderson end up winning the match. And then it was like, oh, no, not for the titles. I was so confused, as were many people on Twitter. I thought this was a rematch because of the count-out victory from last night. So to see the tag champs lose when it's not for the belts sucks. I hate when they do this to begin with. And I thought the titles were going to change hands here. So I don't know what they were going for. You devalue the tag champs when you have them lose at all, especially the Viking Raiders, and especially because they lost essentially clean. There wasn't really much of it. What? Because the apron got in the way. I mean, that doesn't still doesn't constitute as a DQ. So you're saying that the OC got the best of the Viking Raiders? They're supposed to be these unbeatable monsters that you've built for months by having them face team after team after team and local talent and all these different things, just to go ahead and have them get beat when the titles aren't on the line. It's extremely sloppy, and it just makes you not interested in them. I don't think Vince or whoever in the back realizes that when people start losing, people stop caring. There's a reason why wins matter.
Well, they're so extreme, too. It goes from, they just line them up, knock them down, to...
Exactly. All strikes. You get to the end, and you miss the turkey.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense for them. I mean, actually, it does. They're the Patriots.
Yeah, really.
They can beat all the easy teams.
He faced another local person, Dante Leon. That was a joke of a match. They're still teasing the what's in the cage type thing.
Yeah.
Again, I'm sticking with nothing. But
all I could think about was how great that one guy was last week that ran away with it.
Yeah, this week, the guy tries to sneak away and ends up tripping and trying to run away. It just looked foolish. Yeah. And that was the problem with tonight. They made a lot of stars look incredibly foolish. Andrade so badly, he wanted to get over on Humberto, obviously, but he also wants to be the United States champion. Why didn't he get back in the ring and win the match? Right. Why did he just walk away? The whole point of the gauntlet match, the entire second and part of the third hour of Raw, was to have a winner to become the number one contender for the U.S. title against Rey Mysterio.
Right.
So we have this hour-long match with no conclusion, and then Seth Rollins just says, I'm going to challenge you for the title. So then what the fuck was the point of the match? Why did they make us sit through all of that for nothing?
I go back.
I know those types of matches are filler matches, and they had a problem tonight. No Charlotte. Becky's only in a very quick interview. Kyrie's injured, so they're relying on Asuka anyways. Braun's still not there. Owens has to sell his injuries, so they're missing a few people. But we didn't have Drew McIntyre either. I don't know why.
I don't. Going all the way back to Eric Rowan.
No Rusev, so you were missing some star power.
Go back to Eric Rowan. After the guy cowardly takes the thing and guys, I apologize. I am pretty sick. Not only am I sick, but the thing on my tongue is killing me. It's like it's in the worst stage. Like today and tomorrow will be the worst it is. So if I sound like a fucking mumbling idiot, that's why. I'm sorry. Today and tomorrow, or rather, after Rowan last week, chased the guy who ran away with the cage. What they should have done this week had a crazy guy who wasn't afraid of him at all and stayed in the ring, but Rowan still beats the shit out of him.
That would have worked great. Or have the guy actually do something with the cage this time if you're really going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Don't do the same thing that you've done before. And he's looking at him, but he's going to look inside. Why does everybody care what's in the cage?
You know what I would have done?
Facing him.
Bring back the guy from last week. And while the new guy's in the ring with him, have the guy from last week tiptoe up to the cage and take it away.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Keep the story going.
Yeah, and then have Rowan be like, I'm gonna find this guy or whatever.
But again, it goes with the theme of tonight was making their stars look foolish.
Yeah, he really looked stupid tonight. Tonight was retarded. I mean, it was 6 hours of Raw. That's why, probably.
Well, that too. But you have Liv Morgan in a vignette. You know, she's becoming Emelina, and she's talking to the mirror. She wants to be comfortable in her own skin. She's always self-destructive, and she's getting in the bathtub, Joe, so she can, destroy herself, and the real her can emerge. And then to be continued.
Oh my God, dude! I can't even believe that they're doing that. Like after what
I love all the people that still, because Bray Wyatt had the doll on Friday night.
Yeah,
they're like, "Oh, it's Liv." I'm like, they have a program running on Raw for her. She's not gonna be your Sister Abigail person. That's gone. Give up on that. That was just a doll to put in the bed for the Miz angle. That's it. So now, just because we haven't been tortured enough, Lana comes out. And this crowd can boo because they ripped them apart. So Seth was still getting cheered even later on. Like I said, I was worried about that. It's also part of the hometown issue.
Yeah, I think this is an enigma this week. But if they do it next week and the week after, then I'll give you a...
Well, next week they're going to cheer him too because they're filming in the same goddamn arena.
Oh,
so
all right. Well, the week after
they're filming it right now. It's almost over.
Well, then this is really stupid.
They have 2 weeks of him being cheered on TV, basically.
So they looked at the schedule and they were like, here's where...
Let's do this here.
He'll turn heel here, and then he'll be at home twice.
Yeah, because originally they were supposed to film Raw tomorrow night, but I guess ticket sales were an issue, and they just combined the nights into tonight. So they started. That's why it wasn't really live. It was an hour delay for us.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why people were able to give away so many spoilers. At 9 o'clock, you knew it was happening at the 10 o'clock hour, and you just wanted to rip your hair out.
So
Lana's out there, and Bobby sucks chants happening, and she's telling everybody, he doesn't suck. And she goes on and on and on about Rusev Day being over. And she goes ahead and says, I want you to, ask me to marry me. Mm-hmm. So she even flubs through that. She whips a ring out of her arm sleeve of her clothing. And Lashley at first plays like he's not going to go along with it. And he says, I don't like when anybody tells me what to do except you. He gets down on one knee and proposes. And she said, it's just like we rehearsed. This is the most romantic thing ever. And she keeps screaming yes. And that was it. That was the whole segment. But it went on for so long. I know I'm in a great deal of pain today, exhausted, so maybe it's just my shitty mood, but it got on my last nerve. I was so irritated at this point in time that I actually felt like saying, you know what, I'll just read the results and review it. And that's how irritated I was.
Oh, dude, I was the same way. I was like, I watched stuff tonight. Everything hurt that much more. I have a giant canker sore on my tongue. I don't feel good. I'm not doing well right here, and neither are you. So we're not doing well, and we're watching this, and it's just like salt in the wound on all this shit.
Absolutely, I can only imagine.
Let me
not being able to swallow. Fucking.
I had a mess today. Let me. Plus Gavin's sick. And then I'm watching this, and I'm just like, this is just murder. Let's have a donation play, and sorry to it was Robbie Hyde earlier. I've never seen the point in these gauntlets unless it's to use the guys like Seth or Kofi over. Or how about even, fucking the King of the Ring that got midget over.
Shorty G, and that's what they usually try and do. They either try and get somebody over or they have to fill time, but at least in the vein, are trying to get somebody over as well.
But it doesn't always work, and they got not Shorty G, but they got Gable over.
Yes.
And then they threw that away.
Exactly. They just let that go. Tonight, it was a mess. It was a total just awful mess.
All right. Well, let me. I'll play him now. I know you can't see or hear, so I'll just have to cue you in on when everything's good. My bad, but no
worries. I don't want to talk over.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know what's up. Here we go. I'm gonna start playing some now.
Rollins was border control tonight. Deanna Davey was decent. My podcast is better than Raw. Joe, you're a beast. Jake Tag, you're it. Imagine being there tonight for 6 hours. Kill me.
Yeah, I forget who in the JCS army out there was like, hey, I might go tonight or whatever. I mean, like, maybe you go because you get 6 hours and you can see 2 Raws essentially, but man, I mean, you would have had to tell me something was crazy was going on, or I was going to have front row tickets, and I would have had beers and front row tickets and like, hell yeah, then, sign me up. I'm ready to go. Spaz Phoenix, thank you, Spaz. By the way, his podcast is pretty good. Go listen to it on Spotify. Spaz Phoenix, just search it up, and you will find Spaz Phoenix on Spotify. It's pretty good stuff. Summon BCTG. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And everybody in the chat, take your pants off and get ready to get wet, hard, and wild. And shout out to earlier a NASCAR fan who was the largest donation of the stream I did in the daytime on the Corrupted Nation channel.
Chat party.
And now it's going to be Spaz Phoenix.
It's gotta be a rib they keep getting Charlie to interview the folks that don't speak English. Thanks, Obama.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but Charlie's always like, hey, how you doing? And then they don't know what the hell. Yeah, that's funny. I never thought about that. But isn't she, interview most people now anyway, though? That's the thing. Spaz Phoenix on Spotify. You can also hear Joe Cronin on Spotify. Select podcasts and select episodes get uploaded audio format to Spotify and also to Patreon. Spaz Phoenix, thank you for the $5, man. I'm so sorry that I'm mumble mouth again tonight, everybody. Again, I apologize again. This is I have a problem with my tongue, and also a little bit sick. Could be why I got the canker on the tongue in the first place. So my bad.
Roman Reigns.
Oh shit! Volcanic semen.
I wanna see you naked. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. Give me that Superman punch in my rectum. I don't care if your whole fist goes up my asshole. Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns.
Joe, can I ask a favor? Can you come over here and touch my puss top? Please, it's not going to bite. Just touch my puss top. My puss top is ready. My puss top is throbbing. My puss top is on top of your Christmas list. Come stick your fingers in my ho-ho-hos.
So for the people that don't know it, Tommy said that in a recent video. He said puss top. Instead of push top, he said puss top. Very weird.
Party.
Go to urgent care, Joe. You need medicine. Get well.
The real YT, thank you for the $1.99. I have no health insurance, as you know. But yeah, I could go to urgent care. No, it's not a big deal. I know what's wrong with me. This actually, this happens to me every once in a while. This is not new, so I'm actually not concerned about this at all. I know that I just have a cold, and on top of it, it's like a little bacteria or something like that. So I'm not worried about this at all. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, I gotta go get this looked at. But yeah, luckily, like I said, I've seen this before, so I am not concerned about this. But I appreciate it, real YT. I think I'll be a little bit better tomorrow, and by Thursday this should be gone pretty much. So a little lemon juice and.
We plan the spot all day. I want you to jam it in. Oh, it's in your bunghole.
Sup Joe didn't watch Raw. But keep up all the good work up. I claim my JCS digital title back tonight.
Oh my God. Everyday Jam with a Kenny Omega bomb out of nowhere. Wow. That is out of nowhere for sure. Wow. I gotta tell you, man, I've been feeling pretty down about this being sick and shit, and I didn't expect much to be going on tonight. But Everyday Jam, it's a near Christmas miracle from Everyday Jam. We play on the spot all day. I'm just gonna jam it in. Man, Everyday Jam, thank you so much, bro. Holy shit. Man, really thank you. That is insane. Wow.
Party.
Liv Morgan is still better than Brandy Rhodes' lesbian voodoo witchcraft cult crap.
Yeah, probably agree with that. You know, probably agree with that. Wow. Everyday Jam, gonna put that title up, man. Looks like Everyday Jam is taking home that JCS Digital Championship. And I am sorry to everybody who's had to deal with me for the last 3 or 4 days with this weird tongue problem that I have and this canker sore on my tongue and how ridiculous I've been sounding. Everyday Jam, thank you. And again, Spaz Phoenix, thank you again for more Canadian dollars raining down on us here on the Joe Cronin Show. Monday Night Raw review for December 16, 2019. Thank you guys for what you guys do. And let's get back to the wrestling review here. Jake DeMarco's back. He's leading the charge tonight, especially. He always does, but tonight especially since I am tongue crippled.
You're tongue tied in half. I feel so bad too, but it's hilarious when you're sick like this.
Yeah.
Because your Boston accent comes out wicked hot.
Okay, so there's an explanation. there actually is an explanation for this, and I'll explain what it is. So as you know, like, I mean, I'm from pretty close to Boston.
Yeah.
But what it is I told people this before, but I worked at a call center for years, and they literally would be like, you cannot have an accent. You have to have a whatever.
Beat it out of you.
But I also took radio in college, and the radio teacher did the same thing. He was like, you must not, whatever the fuck. So, and what happened is I've been doing shows for all my life, like with a microphone. Like when I was a kid, I used to have a tape player, and I'd record, and you probably did. Everybody, a lot of people did it. Who like doing
I used to do that shit too.
Sitting at the kitchen
table.
I'm a radio disc jockey. I'm a DJ, and so I would always pronunciate. Like, I know it sounds like, what do you fake or something? Like people would be like, what do you fake, or how can you fake a whatever? But something when you get a microphone in front of you, same thing as a news reporter. When you're a news reporter and you get in front of the camera, you'd be like, all right, well, tonight, what happened down the street on Garfield Street? 2 men were arrested after they robbed a bank. And you know what I mean? They're going to rob. These guys have robbed banks before. This is not the first time that these guys have robbed banks. And what it is you're projecting the right way so people can understand you. And so I'm used to that broadcast. Yeah.
You're forcefully enunciating.
Yeah, my accent changes when I'm talking. Like, I really do that. So the thing is with this canker sore on my tongue, it's obvious when I'm around the house talking normal, like that it doesn't hurt as much. But when I'm on the show, it's hurting. And I'm like, why? And it's because I'm using more of my mouth. So it's hurting more. So if I just relax and don't try to do that, and I just talk normal into the microphone like I would talk to Leah or anybody, it kind of, the pain doesn't, it's not that bad. It's not as bad.
Yeah, because you're relaxing your mouth more. You're not, trying to sound as clear. Yeah, so when you mumble through it, it's easier to revert back to your natural state.
Yeah, so
back to Boston.
I'd say it's a little bit heavy. It's even heavier though than normal. Like it's really. And it's just the way that the tongue is working. It's weird, man. Like
it makes you, like I said, revert in a sense.
Yeah,
but I'm like, oh, you poor bastard. That's how you know you're not feeling well. So
yeah.
And this is coming off of after too. Reading before Post Wrestling reported, I believe first that Vince and Triple H were not at TLC last night.
All right, so I read that, my head almost exploded.
Yeah, they had XFL duties to take care of for the preparing for the 2020 launch, and Triple H had things to prepare for NXT in Orlando. And when they have moments like, that blew my head away. But then afterwards, hearing that they were going to tape a second Raw tonight, I don't know why they can't do what they did when I was going to go see them in Hartford and the blizzard came and they made that whole night. I mean, it wasn't anything extraordinary, but it was different. They did it from the headquarters in Stamford. They had all those sit-down interviews. They basically replayed a good portion of the Rumble, but you figure that there has to be enough they can do to at least make it interesting. Maybe film a couple of matches tonight and then film certain sit downs, angles, stories, and not fill 3 hours with repeat bullshit. I mean, I have the whole show for next week in bullet point form in front of me.
Yeah.
And it sounds abysmal. Who likes Jimmy Fallon? Do you?
Oh, God.
Because I don't.
No, I mean, I think the guy means well, and he's a sweet guy, but it's
just
annoying.
Not my cup of tea. I don't dislike him as a person, but I don't care for his on-screen antics.
No, man, when we grew up with like Johnny Carson when we were real little, and then we had Jay Leno for years, and Dave Letterman and Conan. I mean, Jimmy Fallon is like a fucking
so
fruit
watered
roll-up.
down comparatively speaking, but
yeah, he sucks.
But that's besides the point. I mean, but that's just kind of the theme of the night. It's this, Christmas made-up bullshit. I just wish they could be creative when they have these type of things. Have a couple of matches pre-taped. You've got the crowd there, but do the rest and be creative about it. Put a little effort in. Why can't they do that? We know Kairi Sane is still not, cleared for in-ring competition. She looked okay tonight, thankfully, though, so that's at least good.
Yeah, and she just took some shots the other day. I mean, I think people were going a little overboard.
There are some fan angles, too. I don't know if you saw it, but she didn't get hit with the monitor.
Yeah.
The way WWE had their angle, I would have bet my life that she did.
Oh,
but
everybody.
When you look at from fan angles, it missed her entirely. So it actually, what happens is because it was still strapped to the the desk itself with the cord, so it went forward. And then it tethered itself backwards, and it bounced up, so it looked like it ricocheted off her head.
Well, she also
really
threw her
just
hands
popped
up.
back up.
She also threw her hands up like, and then grabbed her head. So
yeah, so it just happened to be something she was selling.
I saw another angle though where the two things missed her, but a third thing hit her. So I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, it was the way it popped back up. It looks really like close, but after much deliberation, it seems like she didn't get hit from them chucking the monitors.
I also became very angry with WWE this morning after reaching out to just about everybody. I reached out to everybody in WWE, and also Sean, but the real guy who did, not me, the real guy who did was Sean Ross probably, and I kept looking for everybody's stuff, and WWE just refused to comment on this, or to talk about it, or to mention it, or to make any kind of statement whatsoever. So I went on Twitter and I poked the bear, and I tweeted at them and at Road Dogg and everybody, and I was like, no one in WWE will confirm anything with Kairi Sane status to me, so let's just go full speculation today. And
I saw Road Dogg's retort.
Road Dogg responded with, isn't that what you do? Or you always, isn't that the way you always do it?
I mean, talk about an insult, but...
And then Hurricane Helms was crying below. He's probably crying in the back tonight. But, yeah, I mean, there was some pretty funny little memes and GIFs below that. And most of them, and they were my listeners, too. They were shit. It was pretty funny.
It was a good roast, but...
Yeah, it was good stuff. So, yeah, but they still don't say anything, so...
No,
okay.
And it's just... But after rewatching the match in certain segments... when she's already a little bit out of it when she goes for the table spot.
Yeah.
But if you go back before that, when she gets flung into the wall.
The spear.
Well, before the spear even. When she gets flung into the wall with Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. When her leg gets cooked up.
Yeah, she hits her head on like the ground part there. That's when things start to go wonky. Then Charlotte comes back around to help Becky, and that's when... you see when Kairi shows back up, she's like leaning against the steel stairs trying to get her balance. She's trying to get her wits about her. and they have their little moment where she tries to go through the table. She goes through with the spot anyways, and she doesn't break the table because she doesn't hit it right. Charlotte rolls off, and then that leads to the spear and everything. So Charlotte, I don't think, knew she was messed up still at that point.
Right.
And I don't know why the referees didn't communicate that to Charlotte.
Well, the problem is, I think the referee, I don't remember because I have to watch again.
Becky told the ref, she audibly yelled to him, and they went and checked on Kyrie, who didn't even know where the hell she was.
Was the referee even out of the ring when all this happened?
Yeah, there was multiple refs.
Man, they did a horrible job then.
That's what I'm saying. So the referees, Becky made sure to audibly tell the referee. He had her come over to, had them to come over to her twice. You could see her call them over, and they made it look like she was checking on her. She tells them, she's injured. Then she goes to make it look like she's going to attack Kyrie, but she leans in to talk to her again. Then she goes back to the ref. And then when Kyrie walks around, that's when the spear moment happens. So I think Charlotte was just pissed that she took the spear so sloppily and slaps her, not knowing that she's dazed and confused and out of it. Then goes to do the power bomb, and that made the situation so much worse.
I showed that to Leah, my wife, for the people that don't know. I showed that to Leah. I go, look, and then Charlotte slaps the shit out of her. and I couldn't believe it, but Leah was like, oh, that just looks like a regular slap they would do or whatever. And I'm like, really? I was like, that looks like she's mad. Like, wake up, motherfucker. Or like, what are you doing? Like, that's what it looked like to me. It didn't look like a...
No, that wasn't easy going. But I think she was pissed because she messed up the spear,
right? Not
knowing that she was completely goofed out of her mind.
Like, oh, you made me look bad, so now I'm going to kind of do something to make this look better by slapping you. And
and then Asuka made her do the double spot because I guess it's hard with the language barrier trying to communicate between the two teams and the referees, and I get that, but there should be, some better protection. Somebody in the back should have called an audible. They did it for Money in the Bank. When Carmella got injured, she went ahead and she injured her knee or her leg, and then because Mandy was about to hit her with something and she was screaming get off to Mandy, I was there for it. She went in the back and then she came back to finish out the match and her leg was all taped up. So
from what I understand is the WWE has a translator and has translators there. So what I would do is I'd have one of the translators put a referee shirt on.
Yeah, simple as that.
I mean, how hard is that to do? Or like get somebody
a security shirt and just stand to the side.
Yeah, either way, or like
or a crew shirt. Somebody that holds the wire for the camera.
Well, another thing that doesn't make any sense a lot of times is they'll stop the match if there's a bad blood situation or a bloody thing, and they'll patch the person up.
But this is so much worse than an open wound.
This is worse than a cut in wrestling. Why not? Why wouldn't you stop for a minute to do that to attend to her this way? And the answer is they will. They missed it. They missed this.
Yeah,
I
remember when Triple H stopped the match with Daniel Bryan when he got that bad stinger when he dove out of the ring.
Yeah,
I believe he was facing Punk or Orton. I'm pretty sure it was Orton, and dove out of the ring and laid himself out. And when he got back in the ring, you could see he couldn't even move his arm. And Triple H called the match from the back. And then they had medical checking on him, and he was pissed. But DJ M3 said, or have him sit at the KFC table.
Yeah, those
yeah,
people.
Really, just a bunch of translators at a chicken wing,
Oh man, imagine it, man. They're all just doing the most stereotypical thing ever or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's Ed's view?
Not a great sign for the referees at all.
I love the people of Japan, man. I told Ed's view, man. Ed's view loves the show, and I said, dude, I was like, but isn't it amazing that the people of Japan are like really nice to us now and like love stuff about us and we love them? And he was like, why? And I'm like, what do you mean why? We dropped a fucking bomb on your country that like mutilated people.
Yeah, never mind that, but even still with other issues,
Yeah, just whatever. And I was like, dude, it's amazing that we're like...
That's just the cherry on top.
Yeah, that's why he didn't get it, but I was like telling him, like, that's what I'm amazed by that. Like, it's pretty cool. Like, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I mean, I got to give it up for Everyday Jam for that 200, and I got to go back to a couple more, so let me drop a couple here. I'll let you know.
What else we got?
Here comes some bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
He unboxed some bubbly the other day, Jericho.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly. Is it not reading? Bray Wyatt, Charlotte, Becky tag team match last night. I feel like a complete fucking idiot. Thank God the street fight last night. Omega took a big chair shot. Omega took a better chair shot than anything at TLC. Yeah, Will Tactics. What up, Will Tactics? Yeah, it was ugly. It was like they were afraid to swing chairs.
Super Chat Party.
That TLC was pathetic, that match.
Looks like a new US title is coming.
You know, and I wouldn't be surprised because we talked about all these different titles. They're revamping the titles. It looked like, I mean, they literally changed the best title they had. They changed the IC belt. Now it was the best looking belt they had. It was the old school classic IC belt, and I'm not happy about it going away. I know the new one looks great and whatever. I would have rather every other belt change except the Intercontinental belt. I don't even care about the US belt. I'm not a WCW fan really, so I don't give a shit if it looks like the US belt or not. I just want my WWE Classic Intercontinental Championship. And I know that it's not the original Intercontinental Championship from like the 80s, 70s, whatever. But, you know, it's the one that was predominant throughout the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. I know it took a break for a little while. But
Super Chat.
Let's just hear more from Jake. We all want it.
Big Matt, what up, Big Matt? Thank you for the $2. Oh, dude, you can never get enough Jake. You can never get enough Jake. All right?
I whooped Santa Claus's ass.
Oh, my God.
I stunned Santa Claus's
Good God!
ass.
Oh, Steve Austin, goddammit! He's dead! Steve Austin, he's dead! Santa Claus is dead!
Oh, well.
Santa Claus is dead!
Vincent Kennedy McMahon owes us all KFC chicken dinners for allowing both the Good Brothers and the Viking Raiders to destroy the KFC table last night. What a waste of good food.
Yeah, people were not happy about the food being destroyed. KTN USA, thank you, KTN. Good to hear from you. And good to know that there was a Skype update today and that it still didn't fix the problem of not being able to hear shit. Because we played a lot of shit tonight and Jake still can't hear him. KTN USA, thank you. You are a beast.
You are fucked.
And you may very well be a colonizer.
Colonizer!
Thank you, KTN USA. Look at that. Boom. That stunner on Santa is almost better than any stunner Owens has delivered yet. Look at that. That is like a very good stunner. Because Santa goes down over his neck, like boom, boom, and his legs leave, and then it goes backwards. That's a very good stunner. Like, look at the execution of that stunner. Like, and look at the sell. Like, that is really fucking good. I don't know people if understand how good this is. Like, that was a damn good stunner. And it was on a fucking magical father.
Party.
Joe, I am convinced Vince thinks he is Walt Disney.
I mean, he's the Walt Disney of wrestling. He might be kind of right in a way. I don't think anywhere near the Walt Disney who was, like, dominated the movie industry in ways. The New York Jets 15, what's up? He also, I don't think he's racist enough, to be honest. I know that people make fun of Vince, calling Vince a racist, but, I mean, I don't know. He's like, Walt Disney was kind of fucked up if you go look at the real Walt Disney. He's, quite a weird fuck. But yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, I think that's kind of what Vince, I think that's kind of what he is. Yeah, the stunner on Santa. What did I say? Did I not say Santa? What did I say? I might be fucked up. I'm on drugs and all fucked up.
There's something going on up in space. There's something going on up in this place.
Oh no!
There's something weird kinda happening, strange kinda happening, things are kinda happening. What the fuck is happening? Aliens, extraterrestrials, they gave me a shot. Nanotechnology. I'm not me. You're not you. I'm fucking crazy, split personality, Scott McKinnon.
Let's settle this once and for all. Tommy, you don't deserve the monetize this belt. You never had and never will. So I have no other choice to say this. Double negative points to Tommy.
What?
Die, you fat bitch, die. Wait, my bad, wrong show, wrong night. Still die, Tommy.
Harry, oh god, my tongue is killing me. Harry Steve, thank you, Harry Steve. Yes, this is the wrong show for that. You donated to the wrong show tonight. What is going on? Harry Steve, thank you, man. Fuck Tommy. Thank you, Harry Steve. Thank you, man, for $51. Oh god. Ugh.
I feel bad for JB having his truck break down, and then tonight his Colts got eliminated from any playoff hopes by getting smoked by the Saints tonight. Fuck your canker-sore, Joe. Just be a man and bite it off. Lol, sorry, I know that probably sucker. F-Debay.
F-Debay's whore, cunt. Joe's Cankersaur, thank you for the $4.99, man. Much appreciated as always. Hey, I'll just bite it right off. You know, I'll just bleed out, bite it out. You know, I'll get it out of there.
Get it, man. Here we go. About to get it, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh!
Marshmaster D.
Time to get a new car.
Time to get a new car. What up, Marshmaster D? Thank you, bro. Much appreciated, Marshmaster. And everybody else, thank you guys so much for the donations. Very much appreciated. Especially around this time of year. For you guys to be supporting. Much appreciated. And just shout out to Jake, man, for carrying the show tonight, continuing to, due to my facial paralysis. All right, we're back.
I always die when I hear that donation. I'm sorry.
Which
it cracks me up. The Area 51 donation.
Oh, that's
extraterrestrial. Because I remember seeing you start to come up with the idea for that.
Yeah.
Humming the chorus, and I'm like, oh god. So then we get into what takes pretty much up most of the night here is the never-ending just, challenge for the
all for nothing gauntlet match for nothing.
All for nothing. But here's what really boggles my mind. Akira Tozawa continually loses weeks and weeks and weeks in a row. Same thing with Matt Hardy. Kind of get a pass because he's a legend in his own right. But R-Truth is already the 24/7 champion, but he has not won a real match in how long? So these are the people that they put in this. Why couldn't we have Aleister Black or Buddy Murphy or Drew McIntyre? The people that even came out weeks before McIntyre was there for the U.S. title, and so was others. We had that 4-pack challenge. Okay, this is what we're getting. And, R-Truth gets beat in 2 minutes flat. Then we get Ricochet and Tozawa. It wasn't a bad match, but I have no interest in it. I'm sorry, but
yeah,
Ricochet is going to move on. There's no way Tozawa's beating Ricochet.
Why is Tozawa getting to be in a tournament when he can't win one match anywhere?
Exactly. So why have him in there? Then they bring out Matt Hardy. It pops the crowd. Him and Ricochet are having a good back and forth. And then they botch the ending, and the crowd tears the ending apart. Ricochet gets out of a twist of fate, reverses it, and rolls up Hardy and pins him for the 3 count. But the broadcast team the entire time was like, oh, I don't think it was 3. The bell doesn't ring, and we wait about 15 seconds before they announce that, Matt Hardy was eliminated, and the crowd boos more. Then Humberto comes out, and, we get somewhat usual back and forth from these two. They put in a good effort. It's almost 18 minutes that we have these two facing off.
That was the better thing of the whole thing.
Just these two facing off. It was a really good match, but again, the problem is I have no interest in Humberto. I don't care about him at all whatsoever at this point in time. He bores the hell out of me. Ricochet I still view as impressive, but his character feels like a total nerd at this point. He's more of a Marvel and DC fan than he is an actual wrestler.
Wow.
And unfortunately, they have this thing where they're trying to capitalize on the conspiracy theory that Humberto talked about last night on Twitter. It wasn't even on the pay-per-view. So he said that he feels Zelina Vega is out there to help him because she's been helping him lead to a victory the past 2 times against Andrade.
Yeah.
So then you see her out there watching Humberto beat Ricochet, and they don't play up on it. They don't really, lead towards anything with it, because then she just is the distraction for Andrade to come out. So you have a story that could be building towards something, since it looks like Andrade and Zelina are going to be on the outs. And it's, is she scouting Humberto? Is that the new Andrade in her eyes, or nothing? It's just her to be a distraction option. Andrade, after Humberto beats Ricochet, comes from behind and attacks Humberto in the back, knocks him to ringside, pulls up the mat, and hits him with a hell of a DDT. So he gets his hammerlock DDT on the exposed portion of the floor, and the refs saying, like, oh, this, this is too far. You hear everybody on commentary saying, like, what the hell did we just witness? You hear Vic Joseph going off, and it looked good, but I don't know if it was devastating enough. And then he just disappears. Andrade takes off. He leaves the ringside area and goes away. Why not? The ref was starting to count them both out. Then the ref stopped counting. And then the bell never rang. The match never ended. There was just no conclusion at all. They spent so much time on this, and we got nothing. No finish, nothing.
I don't know. I mean, what they did was the most like WWF wrestling type of thing, which I thought was pretty good, with the double arm outside of the ring exposed. That was good, but everything before and after that,
but
it made no sense.
Just the one move was enough to put him in the hospital? Maybe.
Well, yeah, unprotected headshot to the ground or to the concrete. I mean, look at Kyrie Sane, but that didn't bother me. What bothered me was, like you said, everything after and some of the stuff before. And
yeah, the participants, and I'm being critical even of that, just because we've seen people recently, take hits to the outside on the concrete and be fine the next day. So
yeah,
I mean, even the Fiend recently, when they lifted up everything, hitting Seth on the outside, and Seth was bleeding from his mouth and was there the next night on Raw. So
yeah, I thought it was all right, but I just, it would have been better if he took two chairs, put them together, and DDT'd him in the middle of the chairs, and that would.
Yeah, I mean, it was still an effective maneuver. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's worse ways they could have given him a stretcher job, but it's just the fact of when they're so inconsistent. Sometimes this puts people in the hospital. Other times, people are fine. So they really need to. If this is going to be a devastating maneuver, they need to sell it like that consistently. It has to be time and time again, tried and true, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, like if this was a AEW match and somebody pulled pulled the pads up and they went outside and they gave the guy a brain buster on the outside, it would just be like another move in the match.
Typically, yeah.
It'd be like brain buster on the concrete, like, oh my God, he kicks out. And then they go into the ring and then more happens. But like here, yeah, they chose it to be kind of an ending thing. I thought that was okay, so I wouldn't nitpick that myself, just because I thought like that part was all right. But like everything else was so bad that like it didn't matter. That was honestly, I wrote that down as one of the best things about the night, was that they went with an old school, like, pull the mat up and he's injured. Like, so I was like
I said, I don't hate it. I just wish they were more consistent with it.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You don't know what to. Your brain can't justify what you're believing because it's all over the place.
Then we see Humberto Carrillo. He's on a stretcher and he's being taken up the ramp, and Rey Mysterio did come to ringside to check on him, and now we see Seth and AOP walking out. Rollins still has that steel pipe in hand, and obviously he's coming for Mysterio. Rey tries to defend himself at first. AOP beats him down, and Seth again gives you another good angle and storyline here, saying you gave the pipe to Owens, so I'm paying you back for it. Rollins says, this didn't have to be this way, and you owe me one, Rey. He starts to walk away, but then he turns and delivers the stomp on Rey's head. And I thought it was well done. It was sold. It made the crowd start to turn on him a little bit. People still cheered, but there were a few boos, less audible overall. But they are, trying to make him seem more dastardly, and it made sense. So good on WWE for that. I give him credit twice for what they did with Seth Rollins tonight.
Yeah, Seth was pretty good tonight, and
the fact that he then challenged for the U.S. title. He said that I'm a leader. talking backstage to Charlie Caruso. He said, I'm a leader. I lead by example. I had a score to settle. That's what I did. And if I put him in the hospital, he wouldn't be able to answer the challenge. Because they're like, why didn't you keep beating him like you did with, Owens? And he says, because I want a challenge for the U.S. title. So then we get Asuka taking on Deonna Purrazzo. So I guess she's up on the main roster now. At least they gave us a brief video introduction. They made sure you knew, okay, this is her. She's from NXT. She's an established wrestler. This isn't just some local talent. But it was odd that they chose to introduce her that way at all. So,
I almost think that it's just a temporary, like a call up.
Well, see, I had thought that as well, but I had also heard, because her and Chelsea Green are pretty much a duo. They come as a package. And I heard that she was supposed to be coming up soon. It seems like she's going to be on the next episode of Raw that they're filming now. So they introduced one, they're introducing the other. It seems like that's the plan for them all along. So I wonder if this is a permanent, permanent decision for them to move up, or, we'll see what happens come the week after Christmas. But
I took it as temporary backup for the fact that they had 2 shows to record tonight, but it might be up. We don't know. It could be anyone's guess because they've done both before. So
yeah, because I had heard that they were going to, possibly be taking these 2 up at one point, but I didn't put any stock into it because it just didn't seem that credible. But here they are, so it might be the case. It certainly seems more planned than not because they had the introduction package ready to go as well. Didn't seem like that last minute.
Yeah.
And then we had Becky's backstage promo. It was.
I thought it was typical Becky now.
Yeah, it's just boring at this point. She kind of just meandered and rambled on here, and she didn't make a great deal of sense. They're trying to protect me from Asuka because they don't want their golden goose to be done with, since I'm selling T-shirts and merchandise, and the powers that be don't think I can beat Asuka. Well, you faced her last night, so how are they saving you from her? Even if it's not a singles match, it's still that's so. It just invalidates everything.
It felt like a weirdly forced narrative that she was.
Yes.
But not only is it a weird forced narrative, but it's also coming from her, so it's even weirder. Like, I don't know.
It wasn't like Charlotte saying this or other people. This is her belief, and it just made her seem very insecure and weary.
Almost like Seth was a face, like crying about it, like, oh, that's
it just didn't come off well. And then Charlie asked the weird question, saying, "Well, what about the people that think Asuka should be champion?" Which that hasn't been addressed before, so. It was just weird the way they put it all together. I didn't care for this package, backstage interview at all.
No, I didn't like it.
And then we have Asuka, defeated Deonna Purrazzo beforehand. I forgot to mention that. So, quick match was okay. Nothing special, but they're obviously building Asuka to get to the Rumble, since Becky then afterwards, all but challenged her to the Rumble. So. We know we'll see them face off at the Royal Rumble. That's been planned for a while now. We've been talking about that since Hell in a Cell. So.
Isn't Ember Moon injured still?
She's still on the injured list, but she's supposed to be on WWE Backstage tomorrow. So
somebody in the chat asked, but didn't she? Wasn't she injured? Then came back, but then got injured again right as she came back, or she got, or like her injury didn't heal right, and they were like, all right, more time.
Yeah, because she said on WWE Backstage back in early, mid-November, she said she'll be out of action for an indefinite amount of time due to injury, and that was on the Backstage show. So
yeah,
she said that she tore her Achilles right off the bone.
Ugh.
And then she said, I ruptured my Achilles and tore it in half. And this was November 19th that she was on WWE Backstage. So,
wow.
The last time she wrestled was September 23rd when she lost to Lacey Evans on Raw. And that was after coming back after she had the injury beforehand. You were right. So
right. So she was overcompensating. That's how the injuries will happen on your ankle.
Yep. So Achilles tore right off and ruptured. That's a hell of an injury. So she'll be out for still an indefinite amount of time. But she will be back tomorrow to talk on WWE Backstage. So.
I wonder if an X-ray shows that.
I'm not sure.
I wonder what I did. I'm still wondering what I did in my ankle. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, really. Especially being that long, something has to be torn. Maybe a tendon.
Must have ripped a tendon up real bad, but it must.
That takes ages to heal.
Yeah, it definitely has, man. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. It's been over a year. To this day, I still, if I'm walking, it just wants to roll. It wants to. It's like.
That's why tendon strength is really difficult to get back.
I put a brace on it, but yeah, then what you got to do is try to build strength back up. It's very weird. But yeah, I feel bad for anybody that has that. A ring is really a tough thing too. People don't like in a ring.
They think it's not padded, like you're thinking it's not soft.
That's one of the problems though that I wanted to say is like it is even the padding actually makes it weird.
Yeah, like because then you're kind of. It's almost like a carpet that's a little too high. You stub your toes on it and you kind of trip forward.
Yeah.
That cushion kind of grips your feet. That's why a lot of the boots have that little bit of lift on them, so you're not catching your feet on the mat.
Right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. And that mat, man, that thing. If you're not in shape, like you'll feel it. It's amazing when some people get in a ring for the first time how draining it is, because it's almost like when you run through snow or something. You're using muscles that you've never used before because the cushioning is different on your feet. It's like you're running with cement shoes. So some people need to get used to it, and it's very interesting. And I've just seen a lot of rolled ankles and
broken ankles as well, because you kind of like skid at times, and your body doesn't stop, but your ankles or feet do. So
and people wear sneakers a lot of times because they're just like, oh, I'm wearing sneakers in the ring, and it's like, but that rubber could catch. Like, it's not a good thing. Like on the side of the ring apron. Like, I watch Grimm's Toy Show sometimes because we're buddies, and I'll watch it. I'll be like, oh yeah, what do you got coming out? And I'll watch, and I'll see some of the younger guys wearing the sneakers, which I've worn them too. But it's like, and you're like, oh man, that guy's gonna fuck up his foot or whatever. Even people in WWE have worn sneakers. Like the Mean Street Posse all wore sneakers, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I don't know what.
Daryl Stoltz says torn tendons only show up on MRIs or CT scans, not X-rays. That's what I thought.
So I should have had an MRI.
Or a CT scan, yeah.
I had an X-ray. That was all.
Yeah, an X-ray only checks bones as far as I know.
Oh, man. I wonder if I've got like Gerald knows because he's had a major ankle issue.
Yeah.
He's in all kinds of legal stuff over his stuff. And, so I can't imagine what he goes through. Mine's just a little nuisance.
It's not fun, that's for sure. Aleister Black has been cleared to wrestle as well. His nose is broken, but they still, reportedly so, cleared him to compete with a broken nose.
Wow, okay, that's not bad. Well, he must be breathing okay through it then.
Yeah, and because some people said when I mentioned before, oh, Aleister Black, why wasn't he in the gauntlet match? And they had said, oh, well, he's injured anyways.
Right.
He competed on the second Raw tonight, so.
He did? Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I have taken a call tonight, and since Skype is broken, we can only take one call.
It's Nick.
I think it's Luke Rojas.
Oh, shit.
Yep, it's Luke Rojas.
Damn.
Fuck you, Nick. You couldn't beat me this time, Nick, you little fuck. I'm joking. But, dude, let me tell you something. If anyone was able to stay up for the full 3 hours to watch Monday Night Raw tonight, I don't know how you did it, because I couldn't, because I thought it was a fucking boring ass show. Like the Seth Rollins promo with the AOP, it was a good promo, but it was kind of the same promo Seth Rollins cut the last week. Just like now he has AOP in the ring with him. Like, I feel like every time someone turns heel or someone changes their character, there's like the first 2 or 3 weeks is always them stalling or saying the same things over and over again. Like, what was Seth Rollins talking about? That he's a leader and now he's attacking Rey Mysterio? I thought he was in a feud with Kevin Owens.
He is, but Owens was given that steel pipe by Rey Mysterio, so.
Oh, okay. Because I only saw a little bit of it, and then I fucking tuned out. And
that's why I said, thankfully, at least that made sense. You know, that they had a reason to go on with it.
I was too busy jerking off to Liv Morgan in a bathtub or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but sadly, you're not wrong. They're trying to reinforce the same, thought process over and over. Fortunately, though, tonight I feel like they gave us just a little bit more to go off of with Rollins. Because he had said, I'm a leader for the past, 3 weeks now since Survivor Series. But at least tonight, he really made his declaration. He said, whether you like it or not, you're coming with me by hook or by crook. I'm going to be the one to lead this into the next decade. And, I'm going to be doing some stuff later tonight you're not going to like. I'm sorry, but it has to be done. And so he was pretty, decisive. And I thought it was well thought out.
Imagine fucking when, like Shawn Michaels is heel or some shit, that all of a sudden he's talking about how he's heel because he wants to do good by the fucking Raw locker room. Like, that shit to me is just gay as fuck.
Yeah, that's lame as shit.
Is he still angry that they lost the Survivor Series, or is he like?
Well, he's angry in general because Raw sucks and he feels the fans turned on him, and it's because Raw is bad in his eyes. So he wants to make everybody be better, and he's going to force everyone to up their game basically by kicking their asses. That's.
So is he like the general manager of Raw? Like, I don't understand.
It's a weird mindset, but he feels like he's the locker room leader.
I've been saying this too, man. I agree, Rojas. I hate this. I hate the idea that, like, now it's like, because they don't have a GM, guys like Seth Rollins are like, and the women too, like, oh, I wanted to make our division the best, or like, I want, I want my division in Raw to be the best, like, whatever, fuck that.
Yeah,
whatever
he's a quasi Baron Corbin role, which I wanted him to turn on the fans, granted, because the fans were booing him, and it made sense why we were booing him and didn't care for him. He's not good at being a face. We've said this. But like you said, it is odd. It is a real cheap gimmick. I mean, well, and part of me that I like is like, okay, he's justified in his own mind. He believes that his actions are the right thing to do. And that's a prototypical heel. That's why I was starting to enjoy Bayley at first, and then they fucked that up too. So I don't have a lot of faith in this.
Bayley's
that's why I said you got to see going forward. But
Bayley's just an embarrassing loser now. But like, I mean,
Justin Bayley, yeah.
But like Seth Rollins should be more concerned about trying to get the WWE Championship or trying to fucking win titles.
Well, that's why he's going for the U.S. title now next week. And he said that he doesn't want to face Brock again. He's been there, done that. He slayed the beast. He doesn't find that to be. He doesn't want to deal with Brock again.
That's like the gayest shit I've ever heard. It's like saying, yeah, I don't want to win a WWE Championship. I'd rather go after the United States title. Like, what?
Well, the problem is that's the only title that's there right now. So,
I hope Rey Mysterio gets in a car crash because I don't like him. I'm sick of his little gimmick. It was fun, but now I just want Rey Mysterio to go away. And I want his son to go away, and I want Carlito. What's his name? Fucking Humberto.
Yeah.
They need to call ICE for that motherfucker.
Oh no, my God!
It's funny too because Primo Cologne said the other day, we heard he got suspended for a wellness policy violation, and then he came out with a statement saying, "I didn't fail the test. I didn't take the test. They called me randomly and said, you have to return to the United States from Puerto Rico and take one of the doping tests." And he said, all right, I'll go, but can I do it at a lab here? You can choose it and test me without problem, without any discomfort, but I'm not paying for a trip just to go and get tested and come right back.
Yeah.
And he didn't hear anything from the company, no response, nothing. And he thought they were going to call when they found a place for him to be tested. 2 months passed, and then he said he got a letter that he's suspended for refusal to take the test.
But the press release from WWE was that he failed the test.
Well, you would fail by not taking. So that's like saying that you're guilty of, and you just didn't want to test positive.
I wonder if I almost wonder if you have legal ramifications on something like that.
I wonder, because it could be viewed as like slander in some ways. Maybe it makes you look like you're on something that you're not. But he's working hard to get ahead of this narrative. So
and then you have to prove like loss of wages or whatever.
Yeah, but their contracts aren't even up until October of next year. So
man, Colon. I mean, I just call him. I know Cologne, but I call him Colon.
Like full of shit.
Let's hit our last little break here and see what people are saying.
Super chat.
Only a couple here.
Super chat.
Lesson of the day: don't eat DT pus.
E. Gelfman, what up, Gelfman? Lesson of the day: don't eat dirty pus. Yeah, I definitely ate something. I don't know what I did. I think it's some girl from back in 7th grade. I think when I was in middle school, this girl made me do these things that are unspeakable. Way back then. I think that's why I've had them since then. I think it was all her fault near the playground. Lord Beerus, what up, Lord? Dude, guys got beer in his name. That's amazing.
Billy, you cunt! Frog off!
Oh my. Fuck Eugene Debs. Fuck Deb bar. Yo, that was funny as shit earlier today when you replayed that Tommy flashback when he compared her to spoiled tuna. Fucking spoiled brat with her screamy hyene voice. Joe, you sexy as fuck.
Yeah, you like a spoiled can of tuna, Rudolph. Rudolph's anus. Thank you, Rudolph's anus, for the 888. Yeah, it's always fun to go back and watch that. And when he talks about how he garnishes himself with his pillows. It's just one of the weirdest videos. I think he's clearly nervous as shit because he wants to bang the hell out of her. And he just acts so bizarre in that video. It's really one of the most amazing things.
Chat party.
Mr. Spaz Phoenix.
People are salty as hell at Lawler for calling Kyrie Sane Kabuki number 2. Like, just swap in Io Shirai.
Yeah, I mean, that, whatever, Jerry Lawler doesn't even know where he is at this point. Jerry Lawler's out of his goddamn mind. But, yeah, at least they didn't call her Gookie Warrior or something like that. I don't know. That's what I have expected him to say. He almost did. He called her something like Kabaki Warrior once or something like that. I'm like, hey, man, he's going to accidentally call her Gookie Warrior. Like, he's going to say something fucked up. Oh, man. They probably, who knows what the hell they said back in the day in the locker rooms, about all kinds of people. They used to call the great Muda Turd Stain. It was unbelievable.
Super Chat Party.
Disney stole Mickey Mouse from a cartoonist.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, all some of the greatest things ever in life have been stolen. Look at the McDonald's guy. That shit's enraging. Shout out to you, the real YT, for the $1.99 man super chat party in the house. By the way, if you guys can like the video, that would be awesome. I'd love to see a lot of likes on the video. That always makes me get warm down in my pants, and I begin to get erect. And on a day like this where I'm sick, it definitely helps out when you guys hit that like button. Shout out to everybody. The Bukaki Warriors. Yeah, Bukaki. But I'm telling you, man, he's going to say Gookie Warriors. He's going to say it. He's going to say a bad word.
Here we go. I'm about to get it, man.
Here we go.
About to get it, man. Here we go.
About to get it.
Here we go. Oh, no.
Raw made wanna run my car off the road on my way back from Minneapolis. WWE so bad SMH.
T-Rev 24, the man that got the Joe Cronin Show sign on TLC. It was amazing. T-Rev, thank you for that. JCS Army. And Seth Rollins, Fears Cronin. That was great stuff. I'm sorry you had to drive back during that. God, it was... Raw put me to sleep tonight, man. I'm still out of it right now. I'm like fucking... If it wasn't for Everyday Jam and you guys' donations, but Everyday's bomb, I wouldn't have snapped out of my coma. Raw put me in a goddamn coma. It was raw-tarded tonight, but it was raw coma.
Yeah.
For me.
Smoke weed every day.
Why the hell isn't Dead on Dave doing Raw reviews with you anymore? I just woke up from a 5-year coma.
Oh my god, that's pretty funny. You know, to be fair, I think he only did them with me for 8 months. Or maybe a year. I don't remember. JCS fan under a rock. Welcome back from the coma, man. Welcome back. There's a lot of things you're going to find interesting when you learn a lot of things. Tommy has 100K.
Almost ordered the ROH PPV Friday night, but they wanted $35 for it, which is crazy.
Well,
glad to see PCO won the ROH title. The storytelling has a hardy broken gimmick feel to it, with PCO getting a car battery into his chest to get brought back to life.
Yeah, Deftones, what's up, man? Some people liked that, and some people enjoyed that. But there was a lot of people that were really like, what the fuck is Ring of Honor doing?
Pour me a beer. You've got a new subscriber.
Phil Brooks, thank you for subbing, man. See you on Backstage all the time. You're great. Phil Brooks, thank you. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. ROH, $35. I mean, at least it's not more. I mean, a lot of other things are $49. I would say for Ring of Honor, I would go no more than $24.99, but that's me. But, you know, I'd support him for $35 if I like the product, but I don't, so whatever. And, yeah, there's a lot you're going to learn coming back from the past 5 years, JCS fan under a rock. Tommy NC no longer has 2,000 YouTube subscribers. Now he has 1,000 fucking subs, so that's different. You're going to learn about a lot of things. You're going to learn that my former co-host Tommy C left as well, and he went on to do a podcast with Keemstar. So you're really gonna be blown away when you find out the history of what's happened on the Joe Cronin show. Devious Dave Rose and me have gotten in 5 different fights in the last 4 years, and he's left and joined the show again multiple different times. And that crazy guy who used to attack me and my family, I made him a co-host for a couple of years, and he was funny. But then he left as well. So there's a lot of you won't believe what happens on the Joe Cronin show since you've been gone. And we brought on the guy who used to call and do the voices, JB. He became a co-host. I mean, you're really behind the 5 years ago, man. You're really missing. And Jesse is still here, but he wants to die that much more. So if anybody's still similar. All right. We've caught up now. All right.
Fucking...
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. You know, I was listening to so much Dead on Dave content the other day trying to find that clip. Not just you fucking him in effigy with the box, which is my favorite.
Oh, that was agreed to be taken down.
I hate that that's down. That's so funny.
I have it. I can send it to you.
That was my first like full night co-hosting with you.
I don't think he would mind now. I think if I remember, I talked to Tommy and he was like, but I'd have to confirm that. But I think he was like, fuck it, that's funny now. I stuffed the turkey.
But it was
baster.
Right before that. Where because he was sick and he missed Raw, and he was calling you, leaving you voicemails saying, "I don't think I'm going to make it. I'm in the hospital." And you used those with the whooping cough guy.
Yeah, then we played the whooping. Yeah, that was fucked up.
That's where you got the whooping cough.
That's right.
And I was trying to find that on Monetize This for endless amount of time, but I couldn't find the clip, so it must be down.
It's gotta
Paul,
be,
you can take that joke.
I think it's in Monetize This somewhere still. I think I gotta believe.
Well, it was on the Raw review that you first did it.
Oh, I don't
know. You might have replayed it, but it was around like September 2015.
Yeah, that's right. I had Jim Cornette on my show.
Yeah,
and now he hates me. So,
can't forget that as well.
There's a lot of.
We could just keep going down the list.
Yeah, I became friends with a guy named JD who had and he came on the show for a while, and he's, I don't know, you really probably don't know him, but he's a midget. And then he left. Yeah, so there's been a whole lot of stuff that have gone down. You wouldn't believe it. Joe Cronin fan 5 years ago, whatever. Tommy goes into porn, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I am dying, so I don't have. I need to pass out and have some ibuprofen. And
yeah, whatever. You need to get some sleep. We covered everything. Main event was.
What would you give Raw tonight? I give it like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Maybe 3.5 because I did like some of the Seth stuff. Humberto and Ricochet had a good showing, and then Randy Orton and AJ just I couldn't get into it.
No,
I tried, but we just saw this feud all but 6 months ago, and it just doesn't interest me, honestly. Especially because AJ's the heel, Orton's the face, so they're only cheering for the RKO. They don't care about Orton.
Right.
It's a sad state of affairs. And then it leads to the overrun. And when that happens, USA started to black them out, and then they came back. I thought that was funny.
That is weird.
Yeah, because I don't think they were prepared to go over. On a tape delay show, they went over. So
I don't understand. I mean...
And now you have the OC. My original guess, I don't know if this happens yet from all the spoilers, but my first thought was that, now we'll see the OC take on, a 6-man tag, obviously. So I'm sure that's where they're going with it. With Viking Raiders, Randy Orton taking on the OC.
Right.
Because that's how the night ended, with the Viking Raiders and Orton standing tall.
Yeah, I think...
Or the OC stand tall, so they're going to try and get revenge.
Yeah, the OC dropped them all.
Yeah, so they're going to want to get revenge. And Orton and the Viking Raiders will want to get retribution. So that's what they're leading into for next week. I just wish they were more creative about certain things. I mean...
The OCs when they come out, I roll my eyes now. I'm like, oh, no. And, I don't know why, but they're lost. They need another 3-man exciting tag team to, feud with.
I mean, and you did call it. I actually heard it over the weekend as well. AOP, part of the reason why we didn't see them come back sooner is because they had this idea in mind with the Seth heel turn, and that's also why when they took them away, they changed their gear, because they didn't want it to look like just a copy of the Shield again. So that's why they put them in. They didn't know what they were going to do for new outfits for them.
Yeah.
And then the guys did some type of media tour with the WWE at that time, and they had their suits on. And apparently people in the back, I don't know if it was Vince or whoever, but they liked the look of them in suits. So
yeah, I think they were right with that.
It serves them well. It looks good. I don't know how comfortable it is, but
yeah, for some reason though they do. They look like real dickheads in the suit. They actually look more goofy in all the fatigue army looking stuff.
Yeah,
I mean they look cool at a point, and with Paul Ellering they did. But, I don't know. It's working. It makes... Because they look a little goofy.
And it looked goofy when they had Drake Maverick wearing the SWAT gear with them. That's what killed it.
That was ridiculous.
And then the AOPP stuff.
Hey, it's me and AOPP.
Yeah, not a great showing for Raw. Knowing that next week, all the spoilers that are here, I mean, I see the listing. I only saw the beginning of it, but... It does not sound like a good show at all, unfortunately, again. I mean, it can always play out a bit different, but it seems more of just the same. And I guess basically what they're doing is they're building towards the December 30th show in Hartford. I had considered going, but I don't have the heart to go.
You don't have the heart to go to Hartford?
I don't have any interest in going to Raw.
You know what we're going to have to do is next week I'm going to have to do something crazy. I'm just going to tell you guys this. I am going to do my damnedest to entertain people next week because...
Oh, we'll have to set up something. It'll be our Christmas extravaganza.
It will be something. You'll want to tune in next week because I may be going through a plywood table full of nails. So
we'll make it exciting.
Definitely watch the show next week because...
It'll be the JCS Raw Review Christmas Extravaganza 2019.
Because I'm going to have a week knowing that next week's taped and,
Yeah, and the spoilers are already up now. Usually when they're in the UK or stuff, it happens to be it's only a 6-hour spoiler notification. Now we know a week ahead of what's going to happen. So
yikes.
Yeah.
Listen, EverydayJam, thank you for the $200 drop. It looks like he is taking home the JCS Digital Championship.
And he had to get it back this week. He couldn't let it slip through his fingers again.
Yeah, he has come back, baby. He has come back. And shout out to Big Fuego Jacob in the chat. And everybody else who's been here tonight, and the new patrons, the old patrons, and the people that have re-upped your patrons. Lots of Patreon content, as you've seen. Nito Exodust back on Patreon. Thank you to Nito Exodust. and Joe Compton, the Renegade, back in the $25 producer spot. I will have your credit on here very soon, probably tomorrow or the next day on all the videos after this one. You'll see it. The 1984 donation song is up, so you can download that, courtesy of Sith Negan reminded me about it. I've also pinned all the drop boxes on Patreon, so you can listen to old episodes of everything without having to search all over Patreon or figure it out and whatever. That is it. A bunch of other stuff. Remember, you can hear me on Spotify. Listen to my videos I uploaded earlier today about Taz blasting Corey Graves. And a couple other things. They all uploaded earlier today. If you missed them, check them out here on this channel. Subscribe if you're new. We'd love to have you. And hopefully you guys can hit that like button down below and help out. And shout out to Jake DeMarco at Countdown Ended on Twitter. I'm at CorruptedPod on Twitter. And Jake, anything last to say?
Can't wait for Wednesday friggin' night. Gonna be epic. They are opening up the NXT show with Adam Cole and Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. No commercial breaks. The whole match will be televised, uninterrupted, to start the show. And the main event is also the Women's Championship match. So cannot wait for that. I'll be, screening the night with AEW. So,
yeah, I can't wait, man. Wednesday night's going to be fun. Save us, God. Tomorrow night is Tuesday Night Throwdown on my other channel, Corrupted Nation. Go over to my other channel and subscribe. Tomorrow night. Oh my God. Here comes the $9. $9
for a fuck. Someone donated 9. I'm getting hard. I got 9 inches inside of your wife. $9. I'm shooting my semen to the ceiling. I'm coming and my balls have turned blue. $9. Suck my dick.
Suck it. Fuck it.
I Harby announced my intent to sue all involved in the buyout disguised as removal of Dan. No one should be rewarded for what he did.
Khalil Kim, I don't know what he's talking about. Kaleem Kim of Savior. Thank you for the donation. What is he talking about? Do you know what he's talking about? I don't know if you heard it.
No idea. He's going to sue all involved in the buy or disguised removal of Dan. All right.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
No one shall be rewarded for what he did.
Who is this person? What did he do? What the fuck is he talking about?
It's so bizarre.
Does anybody know who that is? I have no. I'm so lost.
Maybe they know.
I am lost on that one. I don't know who this person
Kelly
is.
Kim Survivor. So there's.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. The buyout.
Oh, it's obviously because she said Kelly Kim was Survivor, but it's Kelly Kim, Survivor contestant Kelly Kim slammed CBS for allowing Dan Spilo's inappropriate behavior for so long.
Oh.
So she was a contestant on Survivor, and she's relieved her male co-star, Dan Spilo, was booted from the show after she and others alleged he inappropriately touched female contestants.
Oh.
And she keeps putting CBS on blast. Sorry, I don't watch Survivor, but now I get your donation and it's funny.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had no idea though. Yeah, I didn't watch that either, so I don't.
In her Twitter statement, she said she feels validated, but still has to give it out to CBS, and she wants to put them on blast more.
Wow.
She put on a huge post. These are my thoughts tonight. Dan was kicked off for inappropriate touching.
Well, I spoke to. Unbelievable.
And they said Dan was getting sued. I thought they were referring to you. So that's why I was confused.
I don't have anything to be taken. You fucking sue me, you're going to get a pile of coal. All right, Jakey, man. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see you later. And you have a good night, my friend.
You too, baby. Feel better.
Right, baby. We'll see.
Get some rest.
I need my tongue in you.
Ooh, get you more AIDS.
Good night, Jake. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Sorry, a little bit short, but again, we're out of things to say about this piece of garbage. And on top of that, I'm fucked up, man. I'm sick, and I got a canker sore, which could go together. Probably have mono. Who knows? Thank you again, and Everyday Jam taking home that belt. You sick, dirty motherfucker. see you tomorrow for Throwdown on Corrupted Podcast YouTube channel. Corrupted Nation. Oh, you know, I spoke to Scott earlier today.
What? You should probably kill yourself in front of your kids tonight. In front of your kids. Make sure your kids see it, though. Just like you threw the baby doll down the stairs in front of Brenna. I want to ensure that Finn sees you kill yourself in front of him. So that Finn can grow up and be a psychopath that kills multiple people like Michael Myers in the new horror movie.
Come on, Scott, man. That's not cool, bro.
Weird. Nah, it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty legit.
It's not cool, man.
So you know what? Like, I just gotta be honest though. I don't see any.
Tonight in front of your kids.
What?
You should probably kill yourself in front of your kids tonight. In front of your kids. Make sure your kids see it, though. Just like you threw the baby doll down the stairs in front of Brenna. I want to ensure that Finn sees you kill yourself in front of him. So that Finn can grow up and be a psychopath that kills multiple people like Michael Myers in the new horror movie.
Come on, Scott, man. That's not cool, bro.
Weird. Nah, it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty legit.
Riding on Cronin's dick. Riding on Cronin's dick. Riding on Cronin's dick. I lay you a riding on Cronin's dick. Riding on Cronin's dick. Even though your own show is shit.
All you dick-riding fucks with your minuscule channels. All your humping Cronin's vids like an army of camels. Sit and copy your shit, make your own monetize this. You got 13 subscribers, now you're starting to twitch. You got the same mic and setup, stop riding his dick. You got the same Skype setup, who you trying to kid? Get your own fucking gimmick, intellectual property. You're trying to pass Joe like he's going Monopoly. You won't be making $200, you're getting fucked by the long cock attendance racket Jones. Come fuck with me, taking your take, and you never give it back. Sitting hitting on the same 6 women in the chat.
I lay you a riding on Cronin's dick. Even though your own show.
I got something to say.
I basically bust in on her.
Chris Peeps is about as real as a spray tan. Face looking like it's grazed by a rape van. You dumb fucked up cut butt, you suck butt, your cunt's bloody, you dumb fuck, and your mom's a slut. And while I'm at it, fuck you leech, motherfuckers. Hold these words, leave you shitting in your sheets, motherfuckers. You are corny little bitches, this is beef, motherfuckers. Watch me beat, meat, skeet, skeet, skeet on your mothers. Starting to think Joe Cronin should start charging admission for all the people that are riding on his dick these days. Fuck. Get your own ideas.
I lay you a riding on Cronin's dick. Even though your own show is shit.
Did you know that Beefmaster hot dogs once had metal in them?
God damn it, it's a nice day out. I think I'll fire up the old grill today. Ooh, that sounds good, Sweetums. Shut up! Now go in the fridge and get me a beer and some Beefmasters. Beefmaster, the tastiest wiener you'll ever have in your mouth. Oh, God, you look good. Oh, you look good, too. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh God, fuck yeah. Later that evening. Oh God, you fucking stink! What did you eat, you fuck? Oh, God damn it! Don't fucking touch me! Oh, dear God! Ah! Get it out! Get it out! Oh, it burns! Oh, kill me now! Ah! Are you fucking okay, baby? Fuck off!
The next morning.
Shut up, you fuck!
Yeah.
Hey, it's Boomer.
Hey, Boomer.
Hey, we're having a little shindig today. A little beer and some butt sex, and I'm gonna grill some beef masters. You coming?
I'm on my way.
Who was that, baby?
Fuck you.
Beefmaster!
This product is known to contain metal. Seriously.